Have you ever wondered the differences between the Mexican and the United States education system? If you answer yes, then good afternoon, I'm Pablo and I'm here to inform you the differences between both systems. So, what is relevant about this? Both systems are very different, and each system has its own advantages and disadvantages. And as a person, as a student that experienced both of them, I can give you a basic understanding, and even I can get into details, but most important is the basic understanding of both. So, with all that being said, we can go to the first main point, which is the minimum wage in Mexico. So the minimum wage in Mexico is very low compared to the minimum wage in the US. In the north, where I used to live, and where the minimum wage is higher, it's about $9.23 per day, while the federal minimum wage in the US is $7.25 per hour. It's a whole world of difference between the wages. But is this important? Yes, it is important. Both data is supported by the US the US Department of Labor and the CONASAMI. The CONASAMI is the governmental institution that of minimum wage in Mexico. And as we can see, between the same job, we can see the salary of a quality manager in a factory in Mexico and the US. Why is this important? Because this can show us the availability of college for students that are being paid with the minimum wage or similar salaries compared to students in the US that are being paid with the minimum wage and without any aid, just like scholarships or student loans. But first of all, we need to get into the levels of education between both countries. Overall, they have the same levels of education. They go from preschool to a master's and doctorate degrees. The only difference is that the US university category is divided into two types of degrees, the associate's degree and the bachelor's degree. Overall, they are kind of the same thing, but the associate's degrees are only available for community colleges. And in Mexico, they have only quote-unquote bachelor's degree. As we know, in the US, a associate's degree is kind of like the general education of a bachelor's degree. So for example, if you're studying mechanical engineering, the general courses you can take at a community college for less money and then transfer to a 4-year university that has the more specialized courses, and you're able to get the bachelor's degree. In Mexico, you have the same thing, but it's just the bachelor's degree. Overall, in Mexico, there are a lot of people that has university degrees. According to the INEGI, which is the statistics governmental institution, they say that in Mexico, more people are getting university degrees or higher education degrees. While in the US, it's kind of like that. Some people drop after high school, but it happens in both countries. The only issue with Mexico, with having more educated population, means that the competitiveness for the same job is higher. So it will result in like people with a mechanical engineering degree being a taxi driver. And we can see here the tuition for a public university compared to the universities in the US. A public university, the whole career can cost only $1,889. It's kind of the average, but it usually is. While in the US, a 4-year career in a big university, it can be more than $100,000. And in private universities in Mexico, the whole career can cost half of it. And we know that community college has lower tuitions, but as I said, it's just like half of the path for a 4-year career. Some big comparisons are that the education in Mexico is very similar to the US. They learn about the same stuff. The only difference is that the prestige each university has. And it's more likely someone that has a American education, quote unquote American, is going to get higher rather than a person with a Mexican education. But overall, both have the same knowledge overall. And what we can get from this is that Mexicans can be as smart as Americans because they are people, they learn the same things, maybe sometimes more, sometimes less. It really depends on the career, the university they went to, and that we are humans over. And thank you for listening.